Let us simulate this situation in our IDE. Let us assume the individual subpatches all are identified by numbers, from 1 to 8 in here. Again, we write a testing function that simulates the behavior of the system. We assume that if the patches 3 and 6 are applied, then the failure occurs. If patches 3 and 6 are not applied together, then the failure does not occur. Thanks to the beauty of Python, all of our infrastructure we previously had set up for strings also works for lists. So let's see what happens if we test the entire set of patches. We see it fails, which is not much of a surprise because 3 and 6 are both in here. If we test the empty list instead, that is no patches applied, then the test passes. Again, we print out the list we're testing, its length, and the result. Now we can again invoke delta debugging with a set of patches and the above test function. Let's see how this works. We invoke ddmin to see whether we can simplify this list of patches to see which of these patches are relevant. Press on run, here we get the result, and the final result is patches 3 and 6 suffice to cause the failure. Well, that's something we knew all along, didn't we? So if your original patch would have been 10,000s of lines long, then chances are that delta debugging reduces this to just 2 lines, or another very small set of locations in your code, for which you then know that if you change these 2 lines, the failure will occur, and if you don't change them, the failure will not occur. This approach for determining the culprit for a regression has also been named the blame-o-meter as a means to know whom to blame, where whom to blame means which places in the code are to blame, but it can also mean which patches are to blame, and it can also mean which programmers made these changes, which are now to blame. The idea is that such a scheme can be used in any situation in which an old version worked and a new version does not. So when you have any regression test failing, and a regression test does exactly that, comparing the results of the new version against the old version, you can and possibly should run delta debugging in order to figure out which lines in the code are actually responsible for the failure.